Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a quantum leap into the future, 100 years from now, to the dazzling, dangerous streets of Nueva York. We're talking about a Spider-Man who isn't Peter Parker, but who carries his legacy into a dark cyberpunk world. Get ready to meet the one and only Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara. So, who is this futuristic web-slinger? Picture this. The year is 2099. Mega corporations rule the world. And one of the biggest, most sinister of them all is Alchemax. Working within its gleaming, oppressive towers is a brilliant but rebellious geneticist named Miguel O'Hara. He's head of the genetics program, tasked with creating corporate-controlled super soldiers, inspired by the heroes of old, specifically Spider-Man. Miguel is sharp, witty, and has a strong moral compass, which puts him at odds with the corrupt corporate culture of Alchemax, especially his tyrannical boss Tyler Stone. During one of his projects, Miguel tries to replicate the powers of the original Spider-Man. But when a human test subject dies during an experiment, Miguel's conscience can't take it anymore. He decides to quit, to walk away from the moral decay of Alchemax for good. But you don't just walk away from a company like Alchemax. Tyler Stone, in a cruel act of retaliation, tricks Miguel into taking a highly addictive drug called Rapture. The catch? Alchemax is the only legal supplier. Stone essentially blackmails Miguel, telling him that if he wants to avoid a life of addiction and ruin, he has to stay. It's a devastating, manipulative move. Backed into a corner, Miguel becomes desperate. He remembers his own genetic experiments. He thinks maybe, just maybe, he can use his own technology to rewrite his DNA and purge the Rapture from his system. He sneaks back into his lab after hours, planning to use a clean genetic template of his former self to reset his body. But he's not alone. A jealous and petty subordinate named Aaron Delgado sabotages the process. Instead of loading Miguel's clean DNA, he loads the spider hybrid genetic code that Miguel was working on. The machine activates and a horrific, chaotic process begins. Miguel's DNA is forcibly rewritten, spliced with the genetic code of a spider. The lab explodes, and in the aftermath, a changed Miguel emerges. At first, he thinks the process failed. But then he notices the changes. Talons, sharp and retractable, sprout from his fingertips and toes, allowing him to climb walls and shred through metal. His vision is enhanced, allowing him to see in the dark and perceive motion at incredible speeds. And then there are the fangs, paralyzing, venomous fangs. Unlike Peter Parker, whose powers came from a radioactive spider bite, Miguel's are a result of a direct 50% genetic fusion. He doesn't have a traditional spider sense. Instead, his enhanced vision and reflexes work together to create a kind of hyper-awareness, letting him react to danger almost before it happens. He also has organic web spinners located in his forearms, which produce a chemically similar, yet incredibly strong tensile webbing. Realizing what he has become, and what Alchemax has done to him, Miguel knows he can't go back to his old life. He needs a disguise. Inspired by a Dia de los Muertos costume, he dons a suit made of unstable molecule fabric, or UMF. This material is incredibly durable, virtually indestructible. The suit is dark blue with a striking red skull-like spider emblem on the chest, a design that would become iconic. This isn't just a costume, it's a statement. The skull motif is a deliberate choice, meant to strike fear into the hearts of the corporate thugs and high-tech criminals of Nueva York. And so, Spider-Man 2099 is born. But he's a very different hero from Peter Parker. Where Peter was often burdened by guilt and a sense of responsibility to his loved ones, Miguel is driven by anger and a thirst for justice against the corporate system that created and tried to enslave him. He's more cynical, more aggressive, and far more accustomed to the brutal realities of his world. He's not your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's the force of nature that the corrupt future desperately needs. His first major enemy? Alchemax itself. He becomes a thorn in Tyler Stone's side, systematically dismantling their illegal operations. He fights corporate enforcers, cyborgs, and other genetically engineered monstrosities that the company throws at him. But his world is much bigger than just Alchemax. In the year 2099, the Age of Heroes is a distant memory, a myth. But Miguel's appearance starts to change that. He encounters futuristic versions of classic Marvel villains, like a new Vulture, and even faces off against a futuristic Dr. Doom who has managed to survive and now rules Latveria with an iron fist. He also inspires others. A new cult, The Thorites worships the Norse god of thunder, and there are whispers of other heroes reappearing. One of the most interesting parts of Miguel's story is his relationship with his own identity. He struggles with the monster he believes he's become. The fangs, the talons, they feel alien to him. He has a holographic assistant named Lila, an AI with a personality of her own, who helps him manage his double life and provides some much-needed comic relief. Lila is his Alfred, his confidant, and often the only one who truly understands the weight on his shoulders. Through his adventures, Miguel proves that the spirit of Spider-Man is timeless. It's not just about powers or a costume. It's about fighting for the little guy, about standing up to overwhelming power, and about taking responsibility for the world you live in. Miguel's world is a dystopia, a dark mirror of our own society's potential excesses, and his struggle is a powerful commentary on corporate greed and the loss of individuality. His journey also becomes intertwined with Peter Parker's legacy in fascinating ways. Through time travel shenanigans, a staple of comics, Miguel has met Peter Parker. These encounters are incredible, highlighting the contrast between the two Spider-Men. Peter is the hopeful idealist, while Miguel is the hardened pragmatist. Yet, they share a fundamental bond. Miguel gains a profound respect for the man who started it all, realizing he's not just a successor, but part of a larger, heroic lineage. Spider-Man 2099 shows us that no matter how dark the future gets, the need for a hero, for someone to fight for what's right, will always exist. Miguel O'Hara may be a reluctant hero, forged in a corporate crucible, but he embodies the enduring power and responsibility that comes with the Spider-Man mantle. He is the ghost of Spider-Man Future, a stark warning and a symbol of hope, all wrapped in one. And that's the incredible story of Miguel O'Hara, the Spider-Man of tomorrow. His journey from a cynical corporate scientist to a futuristic icon is one of the most compelling arcs in the entire Spider-Verse. What do you think of Spider-Man 2099? Let me know your favorite moments or what you find most interesting about him in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me on this trip to the future. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Until next time, stay super.